Okay, in this video I'm going to discuss assignment number 7 from 2026, and it's about the MAX 7221, which is an SPI device, and it's also, in this specific instance, we are connecting 8 7-segment displays. So if I can first of all go to the specific question. It says, well, I use the files under this SPI section. Let me just try and make this a little bit bigger. There you go. So it says the 4 upper displays must still display the temperature from uh, basically 100 to 110 degrees Celsius from an LM37 that is connected to it. Well, it will be connected to the microcontroller, of course. This must also include decimal fractions. So this is something new, which I also brought in here. So in other words, the temperature, let's say the temperature is 45.7 degrees Celsius. It should show that. If it is 110 degrees Celsius, it should actually say 110.0. So that's the fraction I'm talking about. So you already get the idea that I'm actually going to make use of 4 displays, even though I display only up to a temperature of 110 degrees Celsius. So this is why I'm going to make use of 4 displays. So come to think of it, if I make use of 4 displays, um, if I make use of 4 displays and I use the maximum temperature of 110 degrees 0.0, I'm actually sitting with a value of 1100. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to relate something to a 4 size value of 1100, which is 1100. But the last digit is actually going to be represent a comma, a fraction. So just keep that in mind. As I've said here, this must include decimal fractions. If the temperature is between 30 and 40 degrees Celsius, then it says the 4th display from the right must have an F in it, meaning that it displays actually something like fine. As I said it here, it's fine. And the least significant 3 uh, displays should just have spaces there, or not spaces, but these minus signs. No? Um, then, if the temperature goes below 30 degrees Celsius, the 4th display from the right should actually display a value of U, and it actually means that the temperature is under the required range. And then also what I've said here is what you should do is put an H on the most or the least significant display, which actually tells the device, or tells us it needs heating. Yeah, there it is. It needs heating is required. On the 2nd and 3rd display from the right, I must actually display the difference between, for instance, if it's too low, uh, I want to see how many degrees is it too low. So in other words, if the temperature is 22 degrees, it is 8 degrees Celsius below what we expect. And if the temperature goes above 40 degrees Celsius, then we should actually going to display an A, which means it is above the required range of maximum 40. And then I also want to put a C on the least significant digit, and that C actually indicate there's cooling required. And then on the same 2nd and 3rd display from the right, it should actually say to us what are the degrees above 40. So if the temperature is at, for instance, at 105, then it's 65 above 40. So I'm directly going to go to my Proteus design, and I'm just going to show you. For instance, here I see it. Although it shows here 90 degrees Celsius on the LM35, it is more accurate to say it's 90.4. That is the real temperature. And I'm saying here with the A, it is above, of course, it's above 40. No? And how much? Well, I'm not going to do fractions here, so around about 90 minus 40, that's why I'm saying it's 50 degrees above, and it needs some cooling. If I can just take this temperature down, let's go below 30 degrees Celsius. Well, let's first of all go just in between the range of 30 and 40. Let's do that. That's 57. Let's just go down a little bit more and just get in between around about 35. There we go. I'm now in the correct range. Let's say that's close enough, 34 degrees Celsius. This says fine, and this is why you've got, it says there's no difference, basically no heating is required, no cooling is required. So if I go even below 30 now, let's go to something about 20 or 18 degrees Celsius. Then this thing says the U indicates, this is again, it's in fractions. The U indicates that it is, it's under the required range of 30, and it requires heating. It's under the spec, it requires heating, and the difference is 12 degrees Celsius. 30 minus 18 gives us the 12. So I had some questions on the program because it seems to be a little bit confusing. The first thing I did, just to mention it here, you can see that I've placed a resistance in here of 100 ohms, which where I permanently basically switched on this segment here. As you can see, I've switched on the decimal point. So all I have to do now is take my temperature and actually break it up from 4 zeros up to 1100, and this is what I did. That's how easy it is to then get the fraction, in other words. Normally, if I break it up from 0 to 110 degrees, 110 degrees Celsius, you can only work in full digits. But if you break it up up to 1100, then you can actually break it up in 4 digits, where the significant one is the fraction. Because of that, the resolution is a lot better at this stage. So if we go to the program, which is my program here, let me just start off in my main program. People, I'm not going to discuss the setting up of the pins for SPI. That has been done. Also the SPCR, what we need to enable there, you know, we've done that in previous examples. You can go and look at that. In this one here, it is this is just to turn on the light intensity. On Proteus you have to do this. In real life you don't have to do this, but in Proteus I must do that, unfortunately. Let me just talk about this execute again. I'm not going to explain the function. I will, maybe what I should do again is I'm just going to quickly step through the program, and then I'll come back right to the top again. So this is my program. If you want to look at it at some later stage and more detail, that's line 36. Let's go to 36, down to 52, 53 to 69. Let's just go and get 70 in also. There's line 70 to 85. There's line 86 down to 97. Okay, so this is I see I've actually called interrupts here, but I'm not using interrupts. This is just defining those SPI pins. I've actually defined two variables, temp here and temp frac. This execute, I have discussed this in previous classes and in previous videos. What needs to be done here, this is as soon as we get, or this specific device gets the command value and the data, it will be sent to the MAX 7221, of course. So I'm not going to discuss that one also. This is old news for us. But and again, also this setting up the port of the Atmega 328P, that is just to make all of them. I could have actually placed a 1 here, sorry, not a 1, an OR symbol there, and maybe an OR symbol there, which is more accurate for me. As I've said, if I now call that execute function, the light intensity will be, which is sort of in the middle 8. if I want to scan 8 segments, we know I have to place a value here of 1 less than 8, which is 7. And of course, if I want to turn on the chip, I need to put in a 0, 1 there, of course. Now what I've done to activate, because if I look at my circuit diagram again, the LM35 is being connected to PC0 or ADC0, so I need to make ADC0. Preferably I want to make this an input. Personally, I don't think it's really necessary, but if you do it, you're not doing anything wrong. To be quite honest, for testing purposes, I made use of port D, which is not that, I'm not too interested in what's happening on port D, to be quite honest. So that one could have actually been left out. Let me just get, there we go. So if I can go here, I can actually remove this section. It's not necessary. Yes. So if we now go, where was I? Just to keep the line numbers correct. This we know is just to enable the clock speed and also to enable the ADC. And in this specific case, what I've done is I've made use of 1.1 as the reference voltage, and I've used ADC0 as the input of the ADC. So what I've done here, in my previous videos also how to read an ADC, what we do is in this ADC SRA, I enable this specific bit, the ADCS, I enable that specific bit, and that will do the start of conversion. And with this line, because I'm making ADSC bit a high, the start conversion bit is a high. So what I do here is I'm just waiting for that bit to go low automatically, because that indicates the end of conversion. As soon as that has happened, I'm actually storing the ADC value, which is a 10-bit value, into bin temp. And as you can see here, what I've done then, temp frac is a long. So I'm taking this value which I received from bin temp. It can actually be going up to 1023. That is what it can go to. And this is why, as I've said, because I want to bring in the fraction, I'm going to multiply it with times 10 more than what we normally would do. So if we get to a temperature of 110 degrees Celsius, I will actually get 1100 sitting in temp frac. So if that is so, temp frac will actually contain a value of 1100. And then what I've done is just also, well, as I've said, at 110 degrees Celsius, at really 110 degrees Celsius, you're going to sit in temp frac with a value of 1100. But just to get to the real temperature also, and not containing that fraction part, I've also said that temp is temp frac divided by 10. So if it is 1100, and as I've said, that will just be, there's a fraction, the last digit, but dividing it by 10 will give me a value of 110, which is the maximum value. And this is stuff, this fraction is, I'm just taking, again, let's assume the value is 1100. I will then, in other words, in frac, I will basically store a 0. If I take units and I take temp frac divided by 10, I'm going to sit with a value of 110. And if I divide that, modulus that again by 10, I'm going to take this 0 and place that into units. And if I take tens, I'm going to take tens will be temp frac, because temp frac hasn't changed. It's still that 1100. And if I divide it by 100, I'm going to sit with a value of 11. And if I take the modulus again, it will basically in tens store that 1. And in for hundreds, if I take this temp frac and I divide it by 1000, I'll actually sit with a 1. So yes, in Hund, I will have 1. In tens, I'll have a 1. In units, I'll have a 1. And in frac, I'll have a, sorry, not a 1, a 0. In units, I will sit with a 0, and I will also sit in frac with a 0, of course. Now, yes, so what I've done, I've now basically stored all of these values. This is the way it will be stored. And then I basically, what I did on my display is, as you can see, I've done that directly after the while one. So after the while one, it's going to read the temperature and display the temperature. And how is it going to display the temperature? Well, as you can see with this execute command with this specific 09 tells us where you see a 1, that's going to be a normal decimal value. In other words, that decoding is used. So if I look at the first 4, that means in display number 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we know if I talk about, sorry, what is this? This is, it starts at display number 765. This is actually 4. Sorry, that is 4. So at it's actually display start physically on 0 going up to 7. But we know yeah, what we put down here, it's actually 1 more than the actual display. Okay, so in other words, in display on digit number 4, I will display the frac. Sorry, I was just interrupted by a phone call, so let me just explain again. So the 4 upper displays will definitely be decoded, which means it's numbers that will be placed in there, normal numbers from 0 to 9. Although it says 5 here, we're actually talking about digit number 4, where the digits start at 0. So it's 1 more than the real digit. In that one, we're going to place the frac value. In digit number 5, we're going to place the units, and in digit number 6, we're going to place the tens. And in the final, the most significant one, we're going to place the hundreds. So, well, I'll come back to line 66 just now. So let's just look at what is the result of this thing. So if I change the temperature, if the temperature changes to 10 degrees Celsius, you can see it's actually 10.1, 11.1, etc. Okay, so yeah, so the temperature will change, and in the real life you will actually see quite an accurate temperature if you really do it in real life. Although it seems in this case, if this is changing in ones, in real life it's not going to do that. You're going to see values changing from 0, 0.0, 0.1, 0.2, etc. Okay, but as you can see, the temperature, in other words, every time that it goes through the while one loop, the temperature on the 4 top displays will be done perfectly. Good. Let's now go and look at the next section of my program. So what I've done now is I've said, okay, let's test the condition, because in temp, as we know, we're sitting with a whole value between 0 and 110. So now I'm saying if temp is bigger than 30 and also at the same time smaller than or equal to 40, so from 30 to 40 degrees Celsius, including 30 and 40, what's going to happen? Well, I'm not going to change anything concerning the upper 4 bits, of course. Now, I'm just going to leave that. But I am also not going to write anything to them, because I've already written to digit 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's already been covered. In actual fact, in this case, I could have, to be quite honest, this line, because because I've done it here, I don't have to do it again. So this line, to be quite honest, you can actually leave it out. It's not necessary. Once it's done, it will stay there. But as you can see, I'm only loading digit 0, which is going to be a 1 here. Um, and I'm also loading digit number 1, which is the second one, and the third one, and the fourth one. But if you look at the fourth one, you can go and look at F. If character, because remember what we should do if I want to display a character F. There's a decimal point, which is I'm just to show to you, there's a decimal point, which is in this case, is going to be where I execute, when I send this data to that as the command line. The decimal point is 0, and then the A segment actually sits first after the decimal point. So in this case, the A segment will be on. It will be on. The B segment will be off. The C segment will be off. The D, A, B, C, the D section will be off. And that means E will be on. F and G. And if you look at this value, you will see that is 47. So this is why an F will actually be represented by F7. If we make use on this one, on a 0, 1, and a 0, 1, and a 0, 1, for those specific segments, you have to go to the data sheet, and you'll see that in actual fact it will just do that stripes. Sorry, I'm talking nonsense. If you really look at this thing, if you look at this, why did I put? Let's first of all go to the least significant digits. Those are not decoded values. Meaning, if I put something, if you look at this 0, 1, let me again do it here. 0, 1 actually means 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, and 1, 2, 3, and another 1. So that is going to your decimal point, and those are basically showing that A, B, C are off, D off, A, B, C, D, E, F, but G is on. So G is the middle digit. This is why it will, in actual fact, if I look at this one and I bring the temperature low or lower than 30 degrees, or sorry, 40 degrees Celsius, that's too far now. There you go. This is why G will be on here. Good, and this is also G on, G on, G on. So having those 4, that means they are not decoded. I must tell it which segment must come on. And if I do this, it actually means the G segment is on only. And the same happens to the second display and the third display, the same thing. And that F, as I've shown, is actually hex 47. So if that is the case, that it's fine, then we know there's an F and there's the G on, the G on, and the G on. If we say the temperature is below 30 degrees Celsius, then I know I must put a U at a specific position and also the difference, and I must also tell this thing to actually heat up. So here I've said what is the difference we're talking about. I'm reading the real temperature. Let's say the temperature is 22 degrees Celsius. So 30 divided, minus 22 is going to give me, difference is a value of 8 or 0.8 basically. It could be more. Let's assume the difference is 12. Then I would take that difference is 12 and I'll take out that modulus 10, which means LD will be a value of 2. And if difference is again 12 and I divide it by 10, HD will be a 1. So this is where I've got the 2. I've actually split it, the difference in 1 and 2. What I've now added with this command line 9 is I've said, listen, now in this case, in the previous case, it was actually the same as this one here. So maybe maybe it is the better idea to rather keep this here. I think do not take this out, rather leave it. So if I look at, we're still here. So I've got my, let's say the difference is 12. I've got my 2, and I've also got my 2 is sitting in LD, and HD takes that one, for instance. But now, as I've said, basically the second one from the right and the third one from the right must be numbers. So this is why I'm now changing. In the previous case, I had it as just a segment being switched on G, but here I'm saying, no, there's going to be a number now. Okay, so in digit 0, then I would like to place an H, which is 0, 1 here. Of course, it's one more than the real digit value. And if I want to place an H there, again, you can say the decimal point is 0, A is a 0, B is a 1, B meaning the upper of that line there, of the H, that's going to be a 1. A, B, C, D is a 0, E, F, and G. And again, if you look at this, this is where the 3, 7 is coming from. And then, as I've said, in digit number, the second digit from the right, it is actually, I'll load the 2, and here I will load the 1 to indicate that difference to us. And of course, in the same way, the way I worked out the H here, you can also work out the U, and U will be 3E. So it will display U, which is under. The temperature is under the setting, of course, under 30. And if the temperature setting is above 40, if that's the temperature, again, we're going to get the difference. And same story. Let's say the difference is 65. Then the difference is the full one. So 5 will be placed in LD and 6 in HD. And that's again the same story. Those two will be numbers, of course, now. And I'm going to say in the first digit from the right hand side, put a C in there for cooling. That means that is not decoded, which means I must tell it what should be placed in the different segments. And if you work it out, it's going to be 4E. That LD and HD will be correct. And of course, the character A, just one more. The decimal point is off. The segment A of the 7 segment A is a 1. B is a 1. C is a 0. D is a 1. E is a 1. It's A is a 1. B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah, there we go. In other words, A decimal point is a 0. A, B, C, A, B, C. Yeah, that's a 1 also. A, B, C, D is a 0. E, F, G. There we go. And if you look at this, this is a 7. And if you look at this, this is also a 7. And this is where the 77 comes from, to display a non-decoded value, which is going to be sitting on this specific display number 4 from the right. Now that means the display 4th from the right, although it is actually display number 3. And people, this is how it's done. It works perfectly. As you can see, there's nothing wrong with the program. Everything is working fine. I can just, for a last time, just build it again. And if I look at my program, if I stop and start, as I've said, 31, it's 31.1. The temperature is perfect. It's fine. There's no difference or anything, no heating, no cooling. If I go a little bit below 25, it says there's a difference of 0.5. there's some heating required, and it's under the setting. And if I go above the setting, let's go quite far above the setting, let's go to the maximum, why not? Maximum of 110. It will not indicate higher than 110 in any case. Let's go to 110. There we go, and it says to me it's above the setting maximum set. Well, the range is the upper setting is 40. It's 70 degrees above that. We need some cooling. Thank you, people. This is how assignment number 7 should be done. Thank you.